Hello everyone, welcome back to the bedroom. Today, we're doing a little talk about writing. Oh yeah. So, just a little disclaimer. I don't know what this YouTube channel is. It's not even my main one at this point, but like, I just wanted to have a personal channel where I could do literally anything that I wanted. And that's originally what my first channel was gonna be, but that turned into just like figuring out what videos would just like hit the algorithm, and even at that point like I wasn't really doing very well, so I just switched it to this, and I felt like doing this would be a lot better because then I could just get videos out that I wanted to do and maybe reach some people. This YouTube channel will not be forever because I never want this to become a full-time job. So yeah, welcome to episode 1 of Almost Writing. I might call this the Almost Writing podcast. Or maybe I'll just call it the weekly Almost Writing. But, yeah. We'll figure out what this channel is eventually. But right now, it's just post stuff to get my creativeness, juicesness flowingness. You feel me? So, yeah, I'm being a little quiet because it's flipping. Actually, no, fuck that. I'm gonna cuss. This is my channel. I'm in charge. It's almost fucking midnight. 8 minutes till midnight. Use that to. Fuck off. Use that to, dox me or whatever. So, yeah, right now I'm writing for the 8FX development team, which is a game development, I guess it'll be a company eventually, but at the moment they're working on technically 3 games, technically 4. So we are working on, I'm not, but they are working on Quest, which is aka Shovel Knight Builder. They're also working on Abysm, which will be a mobile app, and it'll have like microtransactions and shit, and it'll make a lot of money, hopefully. It's probably not going to make that much money, but it also needs to come out pretty soon, and I need to get Mr. 8FX Games to, release it so that we can focus all of our energy on our main game series, Candelum. And it's basically this, in this, like, it's like a world of candles. It's like medieval, but like sort of industrial, kind of like Avatar, The Last Airbender. But yeah, that's what I'm currently working on. I'm on the writing story group, and so I'm not a writer. I just write, so that's why I'm calling this Almost Writing, because, I'm not a writer. I'm in an English class, but I'm not in any creative writing classes or anything like that. I'm 100% self-taught, and I just enjoy movies, and I like watching YouTube videos about movies. So I write scripts more than books, and books are really hard to write. They're like the hardest thing ever. Like, I've started 12 of them. It's awesome. This is just becoming like a life story about writing. So yeah, let's see. What should I go over today? I am mostly a drama writer. I like to write things that are dramatic, and I've found that the best way to write dramatic stories is to basically to be depressed. I'm not depressed. But like going through things, or like knowing people that have gone through things, like having people consoling you, is a very good way to like build like a sense of like sadness, if that makes sense. Like if you've ever had like a hard time in your life, think about how that hard time really affected you, what emotions you're feeling on like the very bottom line, like even if it's just like very simple, and this could also be for like voice acting or whatever, but like a good way to, write emotion is to, have emotion or know what emotion looks like, and just replicating it in your own work. That's what I like to do. So if I think about, like, if I write something and I'm able to, you know, either relate to it or, like, think of a way, or think of, like, how someone else has related to it or felt during it, then I can use that to figure out the emotion of the characters if I can't just, like, do it myself, you know? And a good way to really write emotion for dramas is to just, like, don't overplay it. Because drama, I don't really see it as drama. I see it as more like hyper realism, if that makes sense. It's like it makes life seem a lot more sad and depressing than it really is. So, like, I don't know, I think the best dramas are just like stories about like everyday life, like actions, you know? Not like this great quest with the most powerful hero to ever live, or struggling with like the most suicidal tendencies you will ever have in your lifetime. None of that. That's not what drama really is. That is, like, you know, certain subsections of drama, but drama is just like life. And putting life into your characters as if they are real people is a great way to show off, like, your strengths as a writer, and like the best ways to get people to connect to your characters. So if it's like emotions that people really actually have, or ways that people actually feel, they will connect to the characters and they will connect to the story a lot more, right? And I think that that's a very good way to, like, build a good bond with other people, right? And that's a problem that I've seen with a lot of other, like, novels of the past, you know? They're not realistic enough for me to care about the characters. You know, like, I read The Crucible, like the play version of The Crucible, if it's not like a book, but like I read The Crucible play, and it's like kind of dog shit. I don't know if that's a hot take or if that's just something that people in my age range will think, but it's like, it's not that, it's like kind of complex but not very complex. There's a very obvious villain, but they don't really expand upon like the emotions of like how people like feel, how people react about stuff. They just used a historical moment and what actually happened, and then just kind of just tried to form a story around it. And that, you know, that can work in a sense. You know, The Crucible is very famous and it's taught in schools all over the country, United States. But I don't know. I don't feel like it's a very good piece of literature just for the fact that it's not realistic enough. And especially with the, like, I hate using this term, but old-timey, like, way of speaking and way of forming sentences. With, like, that old-timey sense of forming sentences, it kind of forms a disconnect between you and the characters. Kind of like in the prequel movies for Star Wars. The episodes 1 through 3, the way that they talk aren't really how people talk or have conversations, and it kind of just like ruins the rest of the movie, because that's most of the movie is told to you through like acting, which is like, you know, acting, writing, and the cinematography and choreography. The cinematography is pretty good. It's alright. The choreography is pretty great in most senses. The acting, which depends on the director, but you know, George Lucas, he's a fucking genius. All right, he's a genius of our time. I don't think he's not dead, is he? Yeah, he's not dead. Okay. George Lucas is not dead. But, yeah. Just the way that he directed the actors was not very great. So, you know, their acting really suffered. And then the writing, overall, really, I don't think it was edited enough. I feel like they, like, shot the movie on a first draft. And, you know, who's gonna say no to, you know, George Lucas? Nobody. You know? And after Star Wars, George Lucas wasn't a nobody anymore. But anyways, yeah, Star Wars is pretty great. It's a pretty great way to, critique storytelling, because there's just so much of it, But yeah, so a good way of telling stories in general, and then telling drama, is to make it relatable, but not in a cheeky, stupid way. Make it relatable, as in people can, but not don't alienate people. Make it relatable, but also sympathetic. So you're not feeling every single emotion, like the war veterans watching Saving Private Ryan on Normandy Beach. That's a great movie, but you don't need to do it that far. You just need to be able to connect with as many people as possible, and that's a great scene as well. That's a great another good way to be relatable and to give sympathy, is to show something horrible happening that everyone can agree is bad. Death, everyone agrees that that's bad, and everyone has dealt with that in one way or another. Be it a family member, be it a pet, even a close friend, etc. It's just it's a very good way to get all of your audiences connected together, is through death, which is actually very not melancholy, but very a very sad way of putting it. But death is a good way to make people, as long as it's done well and not just for the sake of death. Because if it's just for the sake of death, your audiences will realize that. But I'm just running on a tangent. I don't have any notes for this, and I just started recording and talking. But yeah, a good way of writing characters and creating characters in general is just to base them off of people that are in your real life. Because if they're people that you know in real life, then other people will be able to believe that this is a real person, because it literally is. And obviously don't take every single character trait of someone and create their biography or a fan fiction of someone. That's really creepy and stupid. But take their mannerisms or parts of their personality, and just keep that in mind whenever you're writing. How do your close friends interact with each other or talk? How does the quiet kid talk? How does the super courageous popular kid talk? And how would they talk to each other? A super what's it called? Extroverted and a super introverted person being friends together, that's a very interesting concept, because they're polar opposites. They're foils of each other, But yeah, that's just a little bit of a tangent, a little thing that I just wanted to get out, because I love to talk about writing, and this is just kind of a little taste, a little thing to dip my toes into in talking about writing. Maybe next time I'll have Mr. 8FX Games on an episode, and then we can just talk about writing a character, how to get into the mind of a character, stuff like that. But yeah, this is just a little sneaky peeky into it. Anyways, thank you guys for coming to the bedroom, having a lie down. Hope that you brought a snack, just so that you can listen to my 15-minute monologue. But yeah, if you enjoyed this, then please drop a like, drop a subscription, etc. I use that word a lot, so don't get annoyed. At least I say it right. I don't say etc. I say etc. because that's how it's fucking said. Anyways, yeah, I will catch you guys in the next episode of Almost Writing. If you guys want to see 8FX Games on this, then let me know. I will catch you guys in the next one. Oh. Last thing, go to the description of this video and join the Discord server, the community Discord for 8FX Games, just so that you can, get updates on the video games that we're making. There's not a lot about Kindellum out yet, but there is something in the works, and that's as that's as much as I can say. Because I don't know what I'm allowed to say without getting in trouble. But yeah, something is in the works, and it's very cool. I really like it, and I enjoy writing it. It's so fun to write for Kindle. I wish I could talk more about it. Whenever the game comes out, I'm going to talk about like every single facet of it. It's going to be great. But that'll be in a while. So, yeah, thank you guys for listening. I hope to catch you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.